What's up, y'all? Jeffery at Jeffery TV, coming to you live with the new app. Actually, the old app. The app that I usually use, FlipCam, isn't compatible with Android 13, so it didn't work. So yesterday, I had to use the native camera in Android. That 40-minute walk, file size was 3.7 gigabytes. Hopefully, this app and the app that I was using before, and this app will make that same 40-minute video to be like 1/4 the size, 1/5 the size. Like, I think I eventually got it down to 819 megabytes as opposed to, 24,000 megabytes? But anyway, 30,000 megabytes. Anyhow, I was wanting to cut this on and holler about the fact that in the Alcoholics, it's Funky Both Alcoholics, Benny Benzel Cowan was on drums. I think that's significant because that gives you a little bit of the flavor of where the Alcoholics was coming from, the Funkaholics was coming from. And also, the P-Funk Horns was sitting in there, And I think there's some other stuff that was going on. And in fact, oh, see, this time's out. I just got to keep hitting the time's out. So that's one thing about this app, it time's out, and I can't see myself, but I probably don't need to see myself. I done did this enough. Anyhow, so, and they had the P-Funk Horns, and they had Mr. Benzel Cowan sitting in on drums. So that's going to give you the flavor. That's going to give you the flavor. And I was saying that Dr. Bruggenstein, I think that's the name, Dr. Bruggenstein wrote a review, and he kind of summarized everything in complete form, and I was thinking his reviews were more focused on the show and the performers, whereas my reviews were always more focused on me and how I felt and how I took it in. And I'm not saying yay or nay either way. In fact, I am saying yay or nay either way. I'm saying we need it both ways. It's good to see objective or whatever you want to call it. But what is objective? Objectivity is based on subjectivity. Anyway, let's not go down that road. But anyhow, he wrote a good review, and he kind of laid out the players, just the facts. Put it down that way. Whereas I'm going to tell you how I feel, what I want, what I like, and what I don't like, and how it affected me. Because if you ask me, that's the only thing that I can be 100% sure about. How things affected me and me. That's one thing I can know for sure. I had to run across the street. But anyway, I just want to throw that on there about the Funkaholics, because they had P-Funk flavor. There was P-Funk, and to have a P-Funk drummer on the throne makes a big difference. Like Mr. Barry Chanel came through P-Funk in 93, 95, 94, whatever those like that. So he has the DNA, as you may say. And also, I saw him working with some electronic assistants. It was cool. I know, I talk about Mr. Cowan's electronic assistants. It's not a drum machine. It's not a drum machine. I think it was electronic assistants because I saw a ride. I saw a ride. I was hearing a ride. And I looked over Mr. Chanel, and I don't know if he was playing it or not. But it was definitely electronic assistants. That's what I'm going to start calling it. Electronic assistants. And when Mr. Chanel did it, of course I'm going to say it's okay. He can do anything he wants. No, I'm just playing. It didn't interfere with the groove. It was behind it, and I barely knew it was even there. But it was behind the groove. It was like it was just a ride, or something like that. And every now and then you hear I don't know if it was him or the keyboard, but you hear a electronic clap or electronic hit, which fit in. It didn't stand out. You know, I don't want to go down the road again, but that little extra and P-Funk, we make my funk the P-Funk, you can see it's still on my mind. I still think about that. Months later, that little extra. Okay. But anyway, I just want to throw it on there. And I wish I could, you know, that's why I said Dr. Brookenstein's review, see if you can find it. I wish I could really dive into who was there and get more theoretical, subjectively theoretical, because you know it's still going to be based on how it affected me and what I thought about it and why I think this, that, and the other. But tonight is Tuesday. Today is Tuesday. Tonight we go to the Mint. Enema Squad, who played the Funketeers Ball, is going to have a contingent or representation here tonight. I get off at 8. Hopefully festivities won't start in earnest until at least 9, which I don't think they will. I think Trulio came on like at 11 or something. I think it was you know, they pushed it, so it was kind of late. Mr. Fisher stuff seems to almost routinely run late, and that's not a knock. You know, that's not a knock, because I remember back in the old days. Remember the old days when you wasn't allowed to record concerts, you wasn't allowed to take pictures, you wasn't allowed to, you know, remember you wasn't allowed to take pictures or take your video, you wasn't allowed to take video and stuff. Yeah, people used to not come on till 10:30 sometimes. Play till past 2. You know, at regular places, like the House of Blues, not like, you know, some underground places where they could like really play. We used to shoot some of the shows and start till like 10:30. Nowadays, I could be back at the hotel by 11. Shows start at 8. I don't see people come out at 8 sharp. I've seen the opening band, Blue Eyed Extinction, open and finish so early that P-Funk actually came out early. Like before 8. I've seen that. But probably won't happen tonight because I did want to see them squad. Get there, get set up. Hopefully, I'll curtail my caloric intake because the Mint has good wings and french fries. I got a big ass plate of french fries. Shoestring just like I like them. Salted. And their wings are good. Strawberry lemonade. So that's something good for me to look forward to. But the whole thing is, not the whole thing, but yeah, I just wanted to cut that on and say about the motherfuckaholics and the drum machines, I guess. The electronic assistants. The drummer's electronic assistant. But, I mean, I guess everybody does it. I'm sure Mr. Gonzalez has one too. In fact, in fact, when we talking about it, his DJ set, you gotta hear it. It's on another level. In fact, Robin Circle at P had a copy that he had sent her to play on her show or something at one of the after parties in our hotel room, and it was just banging. And I know, okay, when I say banging, I don't want people to think it was like, you know, hard and, you know, it was like a lot of energy and, you know, like upbeat, or it was just hitting that right vibe. It was like in a right kind of cool, almost in a awesome power of a mothership, the fully operational, that kind of album, that kind of vibe from that album, and right in that mode. And I like that mode. I'm old. You know, every now and then I do like my flashlights and all that, but most of the time I like that medium tempo stuff. It's on the one. And at that time, it was later at night. Everybody was just chilling, eating, talking. So, we didn't necessarily want to hear, the live version of Cosmic Slop blasting. So it was a nice little, it was almost like mood music, funk mood music. Well, I probably won't want to go that far back. Anyway, so I know he's electronic. He has stuff that takes the vocals out and stems and all that stuff. And he can do some very, very creative stuff with P-Funk. I mean, he'll put it down many a time during his set. I'm hearing stuff that I've never heard before. In fact, it can't be heard before because he just created it. He's able to pull out vocals, pull out this, pull out that, and put it together in a way that, it's never been heard before. But it sounds very similar to the original record, to the original that you grew up with 30, 40 years ago. So you go, and you look up and you say, I've never heard that before, but it sounds like something I've heard before. The other thing I want to say too about Stanky, yesterday they played Keep It Hot and they played Fire. And I need to emphasize again, Fire was the first, Fire may have been the first funk song that I got that was outside of my mother's collection. Outside of the music that was in the stereo in the house that I was able to play growing up, almost like before I was allowed to go outside. We had Psychedelic Shack, Ball of Confusion, Save the Love You May Be Your Own, Jackson 5, I Want You Back, Jackson 5. We had Aretha Franklin's gospel records, Whoa Whoa Mary, Spanish Harlem, we had that. We had Black Gold, so I had Memphis Soul Studio, that was one of my favorites. Hollywood Swinging, Ball of Confusion, Letterman, I'm Going Out of My Head, Friends of Distinction, Na 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 Na. These are records I remember. Those are the ones I had in my collection. So like I said, I had Testify. Testify was in there, the Parliaments. And I had no idea that I used to like that song. I used to like Testify. It wasn't Ball of Confusion and it wasn't Psychedelic Shack. But I used to, Testify. It probably wasn't even I Want You Back. I Want You Back. But it was, it was in the rotation. And what was I going to say? I hope this thing is still recording because it timed out. I got to take a look. I can't not look. Yep, it's still recording. So Fire was like the first funk song that I got. It was an 8-track. And I think I got it because it may have been my father bought the CD home the 8-track home from the bowling alley. From one of the bootleg 8-track from one of his friends in the bowling alley. I forget how I got it. No, Commodore's Brick House. He brought home, I think, the Emotions and the Commodores. I'm not sure how it went. But somehow Fire was, Fire goes back. Hey, and so when the band play it, a band who I believe plays music the way it should be played, I said that the wrong way. A band who style and manner of playing the music I resonate very strongly with, playing a song that I grew up with. A song that goes way back in my core. It's just 50, 60 years later. That's the best life in the world stuff. That's the have the best life in the world stuff right there. Legacy. This is not stuff that, I just ran up on last week or just came out. This is stuff at my core. Music that's at my core. I know every drop and every hit and every nuance of that music, every vocal part, because I've sang it over and over and over for decades, for almost like maybe a half a century or something like that. Oh my God. Because at the Last Mint, Trulio's Last Mint show, the DJ played Ball of Confusion. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Ball of Confusion. He actually played it. This stuff is so rewarding. This is the part that's rewarding to me. This plays a major, major part of why these things are rewarding. I love music but I don't love nothing that much. God damn. I love music, but I don't think I love anything that much. I don't even think I love myself that much. I love being myself, but I don't love myself or something. You know, it's hard for me to allegiance or alliance. Definitely not dependence. Forget dependence. Or even loyalty. Or even responsibility. Anything that, I don't like attachment. I do not like attachment. So when there's something out there, like granddaughter now, oh my God. Oh my God. I really ain't used to that. I really ain't used to there being something outside of myself that I gravitate to or want to play or just be around or, you know, see and do. I'm just not used to it. Everything else, you know, I can regulate. And you know, pretty much I can regulate that too, because worst come to worst, hell, I'll move back there. If it was that bad, I'll move back there. And my mother moved out to California to be with her grandson. I mean, it can be done. People do it. But, you know, I ain't that far off yet. Even so, this little bit of, you know, wanting to be involved in the life of someone else to the degree that I am is strange to me. So, I was talking about attachment. You know, I forget what I was talking about attachment for or something. But the music, loving the music. It's like, do I really love the music that much? What is it? What is it? It must be something. I must have to admit that I love music that much. It's that big important to me. Or it moves me. Or it moves me in such a way that nothing else can. And maybe I love that celebration, the energy it brings out of me. That whatever it is, that I know I love. That when they start playing that damn music though, you know, and I'm out there playing the music, and people want to dance with me, I'm like, I'm at the point now, like, no, I'm not even going. You know, I might give you a knee bump. I mean, I might give you a little bit of this or that for a second. But I ain't trying to dance with nobody. I don't need it, and I don't want it. It's between me and the music. It's me and my groove. I'm hitting my groove. Now, what I do is, if I'm getting it, and you getting it, I'll see you out the corner of my eye, and our grooves will be in some sort of sync, even if they're not in sync. And I'll play off that. But to have us look at each other's face going, hey, no. And damn sure don't start doing the moves that I'm doing. Don't even. I'll walk away. No, it ain't no, hey, dance with me. No. I ain't asked nobody to dance with me in decades. Don't need it. Music come on. It's me and the music. Me getting my groove on. It's not about anybody else. So that part, to have that and to get that exercise, maybe that vibrational exercise, that tingle, I close my eyes, that meditation, that yoga, I'll call it the yoga. To get that, to have that in a live setting, live music, good music. See, I had to check it again. The screen time's out, and I can't see the video myself, but I guess I don't need to, because I'm pretty much nailing it, I think. So, and it's about the audio anyway, let's face it. So, and it's something, I got on this because it's talking about I love music. In fact, I just don't like attachment. I even have a problem saying that I love music. I have a problem saying I love anything that I have a problem being dependent or attached to anything outside myself that determines my happiness. In fact, I do not allow anything external to myself to determine my happiness. I put things in place. At one point, maybe about 8, 9, 10 years ago, my job, I didn't have a job. So my happiness depended on a job. So for a few years, After I got a job and I worked and I started making decent money, I put things in place so that now all of a sudden, of course I need a job, but I have means to where I'm not completely dependent on that job. If I was to lose that job, I can still survive for XXXX, you know. So there's always a backup plan. And I started thinking about how much I love music. And do I need music? See, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say it, but it might be true. Do I need beat funk? I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. Do I need beat funk? What would my life? It would be different. Okay. If beat funk didn't come around, I'm sure I would have found something else to replace it. Okay, we can step there. And I'm not trying to put down my relationship with P-Funk. But obviously, if P-Funk didn't come around, something else probably would have came and filled that void. But imagine me. How can I don't think I can imagine my life without P-Funk. I'm gonna start crying. I don't think I can imagine my life without P-Funk in it. And I don't mean, I guess it's the records. It was the records and the philosophy. The music, the dancing. I've always been into dancing. Always been. My mother, my aunt always says my mother used to go and just dance to the club. You just dancing all night long. Just dance. And I must have got that. I look at my family, my cousins, Aunt Lou, all those aunts that I'm supposed to know about and have met, and they know me, and they was there when I was born. But back in Farrell, they all danced. I mean, dancing. It's just in our blood. So I've always wanted to dance and move and groove and rhythm, and then people came along with that magical rhythm. Then I studied it in the philosophy, and it was a philosophy where a 13, 14, 15-year-old boy could be crazy and didn't have to dress all nice and didn't have to be all smooth and chase girls and try to be all suave. He could be crazy, do what he wanted, dress how he wanted, but it had an integrity to it. It wasn't wimpy. It wasn't like, I was no wuss or nothing. It showed how you could be crazy, sticking out your tongue, that kind of person at that age, but still get respect, still demand a respect from the integrity. And I studied it, and I looked at it, and I was like, what's this? What is this? I typed out all the lyrics on my mother's brother electric typewriter, where it wasn't no undo. You had to actually get out erasers, and it had to be perfect. And then Mothership Connection, and then Flashlight came out, and that was it. Flashlight came out, that's when everybody jumped on board. All the gangsters, the G's, all the cool people, that's when everybody came on board. But they all recognized, and they all remember who was first. They all recognize and they all remember who was there first. Youngstown and High. So P-Funk has always been, I don't know, and then to grow up, because I remember first time I saw him live, it was so precious. I mean, you gotta remember, I'm thinking I'll never see this again. That music, the way it moved and just the way it heard it, and to see it, to be so close to it, I almost made me cry thinking how precious it was to hear them play that music live with that volume and that sound. Motor Booty Affair. It was either Pittsburgh or Cleveland. Pittsburgh, Riverfront Coliseum or Civic Arena. I forget which one. But that's the first time. And then as years went on, 81, 82, they was playing one-offs. I got to see him I think Warren, Ohio one time. It was just so precious. It was just so precious. And then to grow up at 85, 86, they wasn't nothing. I was into the Talking Heads. Don't sleep on Stop Making Sense. Still love that record in that era of Talking Heads. And then they start touring again, and to grow up or keep going, to actually getting involved with the band members and being a part. I wouldn't say being a part of it, but yeah, I mean, I guess I am a part, but not as a band. I guess I'm a part. I may be a part of the P-Funk crowd or whatever it is. I mean, I gotta acknowledge that. Because when I go places, too much comes at me for me to deny that I play some kind of part in all this. So, I mean, to be a part of that, to grow up, I mean, and then to see them over 200 times, see them all over the world, experience different crowds, to go see them in Paris and have people know me there. I mean, because of social media, it's easy. Social media makes it easy. But, it's one thing to haven't seen somebody on Facebook, and it's another thing to maybe experience P-Funk 1 and Jeffery online because of how outspoken I am, and my little things I can do personality-wise in social media to maybe gain attention or to have influence or to resonate. But I mean, all of that comes, and then to be out here in LA and to have a band, to be associated with a band that plays the music that I love so much at a level that I deeply appreciate, that I very, very deeply appreciate. It's not like, oh, I gotta go listen to so-and-so play P-Funk because that's all I get. Or, oh, I'm gonna go listen to, the Doobie Brothers. No. It's not like, we put this band together, we're gonna try this. No, these cats have studied the music. They definitely have studied the music more than I have. The musical part, the theory and all that. I was talking to Ola yesterday. Oh my God. He was talking about stuff, that I don't even want to know about as far as the musical parts and pieces and what goes into the whole thing and all that. I'm like, oh my God, I love my side of the stage. And I think I'm on my side of the stage for a reason. Because there's a lot of politics and business and personalities, and I knew that. That's probably why I've never been promoted. I do not want to be responsible to supervise people's feelings. I don't want to be capable. I probably am. I just don't. 1 + 1 = 2. And when it comes to people's feelings, that ain't always true. Sometimes you gotta make allowances and bend this and bend that, and make decisions that aren't completely linear. So, forget how, I went down that road, my side of the stage. That's why I like my side of the stage. And I evolved to that, from being on the, guest list to like working with members, and that had that kind of access and the responsibility that came with that, responsibility of behavior. And that ended. I was able to go be free. Changed my life. I always wanted to be free anyway, let's just face it. Yeah, I did good work for people. Did damn good work for people. But I always knew I want to be free. I knew it was going to be all about Jeffery one day. Let's just face it. I knew it. That's what I always wanted deep down. I did this, I did that. You know, I played support role, team player. I was this dude's boy. That's his boy. That's your boy. I was him for a while at that level. Then I was emancipated, and I was emancipated due to a natural action. Article I wrote that's what I do. I mean, that's what I've always wanted, to be able to freely speak. And I wrote it, hit some folks the wrong way. Folks start calling me. I remember that I wrote that out. Folks start calling me. And, what the hell did you do? Blah, 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 called me. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, shit. And it went down. And I was out. And see, I know I got to hustle tickets and buy tickets. But I didn't miss no show. I remember not missing a show. I had to buy tickets. I wasn't on the list no more. I still was always right there. Like I said in the article, I'm still going to be right there. I ain't going nowhere because I ain't got nowhere to go. And I was still there. And I worked my way. I ain't going to say I worked my way back in. But let's just say the wounds healed, if there were wounds. And quite frankly, there was a lot of people who agreed with the article, who I knew couldn't go public, who I knew I couldn't, go public with. And it's cool they stayed, in the background. And a lot of the stuff I advocated for, I got. It came to fruition. It was true. I mean, it was true what I said. But if you're on the team, you ain't supposed to say it. Because it's all about, it's a business. It's a business. It's a brand. You can't do anything to tarnish the brand, whether it's true or not. If you work for the company, you can't tarnish the company's brand, even if it's true, because it affects the bottom line, the money. And I get that part. And that's why I'm independent. Another thing, what was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say. I was just going to say something. I was just thinking. The brand, tarnish, independent. What was it? It was something I was going to say. They kind of tied back in to everything. But anyway, let's see how this came out. Working with the new. Ooh, I thought that when it didn't pop up, the preview didn't pop up at first. I thought, oh, it stopped. I've been talking for 20 minutes. It's not recording. So we'll see if it's recording, if it's getting my audio, how it looks, file size. Cool thing about this one, I just hit one button and it starts recording. The other one, I had to hit two, three buttons to get it going. Had to flip it, do this, do that. This one, I hit it, it starts recording. There's no preview. There's no squaring up. It's just boom, you're recording, you're on. So we'll see if it's using the microphone and all that. But anyhow, swinging on y'all 2 times for the bump and for me, for every elementary particle that has ever existed in any atom, in this or in any universe that ever was, is, or will be. A totality of it all, a hypothesis of all is one. The theory of universe. My name is Jeffery. Oops. So I double clicked the viewer, but it doesn't stop.